Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's session on the Lumi digital currency and how it can benefit Africans. Please, if you can just before we get started, if you can just head over to the chat and just let us know from where you are joining this session from today, which country, which province. Will highly appreciate that. If you have been on these sessions before and you possibly have any questions, please feel free to put them up in the chat as it is, so we will get to them as we go along. Over and above, as part of some housekeeping,
You're muted.
Okay, I have, as part of some housekeeping, I have put everybody on mute. So if you have any questions during the course of the presentations, please hold them until the end. We will do a Q&A session. Else, please feel free to use the chat functionality and we will have a look at your questions and address them accordingly. Just looking in the chat, I see Timothy is joining from Nigeria. I don't see where any other people are joining from, but yes, without any further ado, Faith from Kile in Zambia, welcome. I will hand over to Moa to take us through tonight's presentation. Moa, over to you.
Thank you. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, good day, everyone who's joining us tonight. We are doing introduction on Lumi digital currency and to both Africans and in the continent, and as well as those outside the continent. We will look at the debt of Africa, ECO6 formation, the debt campaign by Queen Sheba, the cancellation thereof. We'll talk about digital currency of Lumi, and also case already those that are trying to sell in Lumi, and quick Q&A. Just to kick off, Africa has 6 economic communities. Abuja Treaty established the first 5 regional economic communities that are within the continent, northwest, central, east, and south. And the diaspora was established as an economic community on the 1st of August 2019, abbreviated ECO6. And this ECO6 is made of states, nations, territories, and realms of the African diaspora. And they are composed of more than 300 million people, including more than 6,000 indigenous communities spread in the Latin American, Caribbean islands. Now, the next slides are telling us about a great reset led by the 3 institutions that I'm presenting now. The first one being headed by Chairman His Royal Highness Chief Timothy McPherson on the left, seen there with Deputy Chairman of African Union, and the second institution being the State of the African Diaspora, headed by Dr. Louis Georges Tin, who is also the head of Secretariat of the ECO6, and Her Imperial Majesty Queen Sheba III, who is leading a campaign to eradicate the Africa's debt, and interviews were held then on those links. They are substantially covered. I can share those. Now, Lumi looks exactly like that, but in its physical form as it circulates in Akompong. It was issued originally by the Bank of Akompong, and on the 1st of 2020 October, the State of the African Diaspora adopted its own currency, that is Lumi, but in its digital form. Now, Lumi is a word coming from the word luminous, symbolizing the sun. And the next slides are telling us about the bigger picture of the vision of Lumi, because it's not only simply a currency, but it's a bigger vision.
our sun. It has been burning for over 4.5 billion years, and yet it is still less than halfway through its life. Worshipped by many civilizations and religions, it is the enabler and sustainer of all life on our world. The great continent of Africa. Truly, it is the cradle of life on our planet, and today it is home to many people and cultures. Bathed in sunlight, its jungles, deserts, mountains and plains have given rise to, and support, a rich diversity of wildlife. Africa is also rich in precious metals, minerals and agricultural resources, which have given rise to the wealth of industries and nations. But this wealth has not been wholly to the benefit of the nations of Africa, as this excerpt, from a speech by Malance Bart Williams, from Sierra Leone, suggests.
One thing that keeps me puzzled, despite having studied finance and economics at the world's best universities, the following question remains unanswered. Why is it that 5,000 units of our currency is worth 1 unit of your currency, where we are the ones with the actual gold reserves?
With all its mineral wealth, plus the abundance of daily sunlight, Africa has the ability to become an economic powerhouse. And this starts with creating a unifying, global non-fiat currency, one with real intrinsic value. Introducing the African Kingdom's Lumi, a non-fiat digital currency that is underwritten by an established unit value, equating to 100 kilowatt-hours of solar energy, at a market value equal to 0.2592 grams of gold, which equates to $15.96 per AK Lumi. The AK Lumi is classic money with the following features. 1. It is a store of value. 2. It is a unit of account. And 3. It is a medium of exchange. It is interesting to note that the most valuable currencies in the world are not the US dollar or the euro, but the Kuwaiti dinar, the Bahraini dinar, and the Omani riyal. This is because these semi-fiat currencies are underpinned by a correlation between their monetary policies and their hydrocarbon-based economies. The AK Lumi, being underpinned This is because these semi-fiat currencies are underpinned by a correlation between their monetary policies and their hydrocarbon-based economies. The AK Lumi, being underpinned by gold and/or renewable solar energy, thus abandons the fiat currency system altogether and establishes its value as a premium currency on the global market, whilst restoring real value to African monetary policy. On the 1st of August 2019, the Economic Community of States, Nations, Territories and Realms of the African Diaspora Sixth Region, or ECO6, was established by treaty and ratified by its member states. The ECO6 has become the second largest African institution in the world, after the African Union. The establishment of the ECO6 enables the African diaspora community to actively participate in the economic transformation, trade integration, and emancipation of continental Africa at a global level. The introduction of the AK Lumi as a single global African currency will stimulate unprecedented economic growth and the elimination of debt. As of April 2021, the AK Lumi was being used in some 142 countries, and by the beginning of 2022, it is expected that the adoption and use of the digital currency will become global. The AK Lumi will not only unite Africans across the continent and throughout the diaspora, but will also give them the financial freedom and respect that has been unrighteously usurped for too long. The economic revolution has already begun, and it will ultimately foster enhancements in business, international trade, employment, quality of life, education, health services, technology, communications and transportation. And so the goal of a prosperous Africa, built by Africans, for Africans, can finally be realized. The African Kingdom's Lumi, bringing unity, self-determination, financial freedom, growth, prosperity and the elimination of debt to all people of Africa.
Now, an invitation to all Africans and African-owned enterprises in the continental Africa and those that are in the diaspora, 18 years and above, are invited to apply for a SWIFT account for free as an individual or as an enterprise, and you secure SWIFT ID after you've applied and immediately qualify to receive 6.2 Lumi, an equivalent of 100 US dollars, on the 28th of each month until 2023 October. Financial support is also available for companies or enterprises to a minimum of about 10,000, equivalent 10,000 US dollars, as well as access to marketplace, an online marketplace where you can advertise and or sell and avail your professional services at a cost, and this is free marketing basically. Now, just a summary how to register myself.
So, how to register myself? It's a very simple and easy process. Note you will need to download the EcoSys application of iStore or Play Store, depending on whether you're an Android or iOS user. You'll need to download that EcoSys Lumi application. It is with the emblem, the green horn against the gold background. And once you have downloaded that, then you can proceed to register yourself. Else, you can go on your computer type device and go to the URL platform.swifin.com, and at the top right you will see the register button, and then click on that and fill out the form that will be presented to you after you click on the register button. We recommend that prior to you going through the registration that you have a couple of documentation in place, and that is taking a picture of the details part or the front of your ID card, a selfie with the front of your ID card and the back of your ID card. Once you have this, then you can proceed to fill out the registration form. Over and above, just note the caveat here that if you are registering a business account, you will furthermore need two additional documents that pertain to your business registration document, as well as a proof of address for your business. So have those scanned and ready to upload. Once you have filled out the form, you will be presented with your own SWIFT ID, which means you will have now been successfully registered and presented with your own SWIFT ID and your login credentials, which you would have created during your registration process. And then you are successfully registered. Your account will be in a pending state. Please exercise patience while your account is in a pending state, because that will mean that your account still needs to be reviewed, verified, and approved. And once it is, then it will be in an approved state. However, when your account is still in a pending state, please note that you will qualify to receive the monthly stimulus on the 28th of every month. It's just your transaction ability on the SWIFT platform will be limited. On that note, welcome aboard. Over to you, Mo.
Thank you, Lerato. Importantly, it is highly recommended we first empower ourselves through several courses that are on offer, both free courses and those that are at a cost, because this is not just about a currency. It is not just about changing the currency. It is not about only spending the currency. It is much bigger than that. And the quicker you grasp the vision, the better. Now, the first thing that is recommended highly is use your first 3 AK Lumi to register for NetFem training program, which is training family consultants to build families, regions, and nations. It's found on courses.cartmazing.com. It's only 3 Lumi. Now, a showcase of some of the products and services available in Lumi. In Nakila Lodge in Chienge, Zambia, there's a beautiful region there, just in front of that lake. It's a place with lots of fish and a whole lot of other natural giftings. It's in Natende village. It's about 400 kilometers to Luapula province, and this is near Democratic Republic of Congo border. And there's a lot of traffic between DRC and this area. It is only available at the night for 5 AK Lumi, and other services available include laundry, car wash, Wi-Fi, DSTV, and food, of course, but in fiat. Their contact numbers are down there, and they can accommodate quite a good number. There's also teas, coffees, capsules available from baobab fruit. Packs are from 150 to 200 per pack, or 0.9 AK Lumi, but in Lumi it's 50-50. And this is a South African product that is boosting immune system, especially during the winter seasons. There's also Wanaka Estate Guest House in Eswatini that is availing accommodation at 3.7 AK Lumi per night, and it is in Malinza, 7K kilometers from Kimswati, the third international airport. And those are the three services we are showing. Please tell us if you are selling in Lumi. Let us put your company and promote it here. Now, the next important announcement is a standing invitation for those wishing to attend the Queen's Court. It's a summit that is hosted every Monday 6 p.m. The details can be shared in the chat. And importantly, announcements. Should I go ahead with announcements, Lerato? Yes?
Yes, please.
Good. Now, our next online meeting is Saturday the 7th. And this meeting will, for the first time, now focus on NetFem, Practical Online Workshop Launch Readiness, because the launch is on the 9th of August. That is Monday at 4 p.m. South African time. And this is happening at 5 p.m. Accra time, 6 p.m. Lagos, 7 p.m. Johannesburg time, basically the same time. Saturday the 7th. Attend that meeting if you want to know more about NetFem and the readiness to attend that launch. Another important announcement is that our 5th Sunday Summit is on the 8th of August, and a special focus on readiness for NetFem online workshop will continue, but the latter part of the meeting of the summit, we will be hearing about a 100% Lumi sponsored automobile project. This is a multi-billion project. It's a huge project that is going to show us that Lumi is real. And very soon we are going to be hearing from a Zambian entrepreneur. And this is happening at 12 noon Kingston time, 5 p.m. Accra, 6 p.m. Lagos, 7 p.m. Johannesburg time, 8 p.m. Nairobi. Thank you very much. We are available on social media. How to make Lumi work for you. Go to lumi.africa/LumiCity. We are also available on YouTube. If you search Kware Lohunyana, you will pick recorded sessions there. Thank you very much, and I hand back to you, Lerato. Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Awesome. Thank you so much more for that. We will move into the Q&A portion of the session. I have noted you, Pastor Thomas, on the fact that you need to ask a question. Just before you get to asking your question, just to highlight to everyone, if you have any questions, comments that you would like to ask, please use the chat functionality to ask any questions or comments. I'll read those out and we'll have them addressed. Else, feel free to come off mute and we ask your question accordingly and we can address it then. So if you are calling in from a mobile device, if you touch the screen, you'll be able to see the controls for this meeting, and you'll be able to unmute yourself there. If you are calling in from a computer type device, please at the bottom of your screen, you'll see the controls for the meeting, and you'll be able to unmute yourself there. So just to also highlight, just for the purposes of making sure that there's clarity, once you have asked your question, and just to make sure we manage the background noises, please go back on mute so that we can just manage that. So while others are typing, and I'll open up the floor, Pastor Thomas, if you can come up and ask your question.
Thank you so much. I'm very sorry because I just came here. I came late because of my time. I'm not able to actually to say to Moy, thank you so much, because you already remind me on the meeting, and I'm still having difficult things to do my registration. That is my first problem. I am so passionate for this great organization, and since Mo introduced me, it has been a passion for me for Lumi currencies. I mean, I've tried to explain to some people in my country here, but they could not be able to understand yet. See, but I am, but I could not. I just heard the last sentence, which I could not be able to remember what you were trying to describe on the registration.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Pastor Thomas. I think maybe just to highlight to you, if you go onto our YouTube channel, Clary Lokonyana, there's a couple of videos that have been uploaded there, and some of the videos speak to the whole Lumi digital currency movement. There's also videos that have been uploaded on how to register yourself, so end-to-end registration process. It's been uploaded there. How to edit your profile and change your profile type has been uploaded there, and how to register other users that has been uploaded there. We've also uploaded a video on how to register for the NetFem program. So all these things are recorded and have been uploaded on the YouTube channel for Clary Lokonyana. More, if you can just put that in the chat so that everybody can use that to search for those videos.
Yeah, can we also try to form a WhatsApp group if it's possible, so that also that can be a reminder for meetings if that is possible to Moy. That's my suggestion.
Awesome, thank you. If you put your details in the chat, we will then invite you to a WhatsApp group. Awesome. Any other questions, comments? Okay, I see a question in the chat from Ruben. How do we transact with Lumi from countries where SOAT has not yet given approval for Lumi usage? I have checked and came to understand that Lumi is functional in Malawi on the SWIFT platform. Moa, do you want to speak to that?
Yes, thank you for the question, Ruben. I want to make sure I understand the question. How do we transact with countries where it has not been approved? Yeah. Now, Lumi has largely not been approved as yet in many countries of the world. And all of us will know that currency is a big thing. It is not an easy thing to get it approved and admitted in a short space of time. However, that is an advantage for us as Africans, because Lumi has to be in the hands of as many Africans as possible, and make sure that when it gets approved by various reserve banks, it is already available in abundance, and it is enabling Africans to be included. That's the first thing. But the second thing is that a lot of work is being done by the leaders of the three institutions we talked about to negotiate with reserve banks to allow for the exchange. However, exchange of Lumi, it's possible because all of us are within the SWIFT platform, and therefore it's a platform that enables us to trade across the borders. But an important matter that we need to emphasize, which Sunday summits have been focusing on, is that before we even do inter-country trade, we need to build self-reliance at the local level. In other words, I should be self-reliant and trade with someone in my own locality, and we build that particular capacity locally. I know someone is doing that, and maybe Megeke will come in and share the experience that you are working on now with other women. But importantly, that should be the approach, to build capacity at the local level and go to the regional level, to the country level, and then only then have interdependence that is built and based on independence of each and every individual, because this is about empowering individual Africans who are excluded. And when Dr. Chon talks about it, she talks about changing individual consumers to being individual producers. Let me pause there. I think Lerato, if you're not, if you could check if Ruben is happy with that. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Moa. Any other questions? I'm not seeing anything come up on the chat. Please feel free to come off mute and ask your question.
On Malawi, I'm sorry that I realized I didn't pick it up. On Malawi, yes, we have been briefed that Malawi has in principle agreed to have Lumi exchange. However, it looks like this is to enable people with fiat and Lumi to be able to transact in the platform. We should in future get someone from Malawi who has got practical experience on how it works, so that we can get them to share with us their experiences. And I'm sure that we can also, find ways to relate with people in Malawi if this is going to help us to access certain of the things that we may be needing in your own enterprises and endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Moa. I see a question from Moses. This is his first time in the meeting, and he's lost as to what Lumi stands for and how I'm going to benefit from it. I hear there's registering and so on. Moa?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we've got other leaders. Maybe let's share. I'm going to make a very short comment, but I would invite other leaders who are in the platform to speak to that. Lumi comes from the word luminous. It is a digital currency that has been launched by the African Kingdoms Federation, the Sixth Economic Region, and the South State of African Diaspora. It is launched to empower Africans. Now, it is paid in a stimulus form to individuals who register themselves for free on a SWIFT platform. This is a stimulus that was launched to last for 3 years, starting October 2020. In other words, it is now about 3 months left to expire. That's the quick answer I can give. I'm not sure if, Lerato, you want to recognize other leaders who may be having other opinions to just enrich that answer.
I think in terms of adequacy, the answer is adequate. But Palisa, do you want to chip in?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Lerato.
Hello. Tandy.
It's Tandy here.
Yes.
You know, the way I have explained, anyway, I'm currently in UK, but I'm from Lesotho.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The way I explained it to my fellow countrymen is that, before Saddam Hussein was killed, not Saddam, Gaddafi was killed, he wanted Africa to have the same currency So this is same thing. Uh, People anyway, I don't know how to explain, but I simply say we are trying to have currency that will be used by all Africans, so that if I go to Zimbabwe, I don't have to convert my Maludin to Zimbabwean dollars and something like that. So in order for everybody to have this Lumi, there's a stimulus package that is put aside to give everybody who will register a certain amount, like 6.25 Lumi on the 28th of every month, so that by the time everybody is able to use it, at least it has been cascaded all over the world, like maybe the continent of Africa. That's the system. People who don't understand it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tandy. I think that explanation is quite adequate as well. So, Moses, if you have any further questions, you can put them up and then we'll address them accordingly. I think there is a question on why I registered as a business, but I get only 6.26 Lumi. So I suppose this is more of the question of the around the 626 Lumi credit line. So if I can ask Jablani, if you can just come off mute and maybe explain that question, answer that question.
Good evening, fellow Africans. Good evening, my brothers and sisters. Yes, the question from Timothy, it's well commendable to be asked. But what I understand is that when the stimulus is paid to individuals. The business has got its own advance or a loan of equivalent to $10,000, which your business can access. I hope more, I would be correct if I say it's an interest-free advance or loan that the business qualify for as a stimulus package, but it's a once-off amount that we get. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Jablani. And I think over and above, just to say, if you need to apply as a business, you need to apply to actually get this line of credit extended to your business. It is not something that is automatically given. So, in terms of applying for that particular stimulus, you need to put documentation in place to ensure that you can demonstrate the need for the stimulus package, or rather the credit line package. And once you have put in that documentation and motivation for the request for the credit line, that credit line will be extended to yourself and your business, and then you can use it accordingly. You can apply for a minimum of 626 Lumis, which is an equivalent of 10,000 US dollars. However, that is just the minimum depending on the needs of your business or your organization and how you have motivated as such. You can apply for that amount. And to just highlight, there has been an organization that has received in the millions in terms of this credit line or funding. But yes, anyway, before I go on, I see the viewer has a comment question. First time in the meeting, so I'm Zimbabwean and would like to go on the radio in our country so that I can clarify the issue of people making people pay, because it is going out of hand and everyone is calling because it's a scam. Today there was a radio show and 99% of people who have registered for Lumi don't even know what is going on. So I want to know if I can get support from other leaders if I'm to book for a talk show with some radio channels. Moa, do you want to talk to that?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, I think it's quite sad what is happening at Tapiwanashe in Zimbabwe, but also in South Africa. That has been happening. We are certain that there are credible leaders in South Africa who are, some of them have formed the campaign we are doing now. Some are present, some are not present in this meeting. I'm certain that we can have a few of them, one or two, available to avail themselves for such a radio talk. And if possible, we could also get some of the ministers or some of the appointed officials of State of African Diaspora to attend to such. I know that we could arrange a minister to be available to support you in that regard, because that would then give it more credibility. Just to, if I'm done with that one, Lerato, allow me to just make one correction. I know Jabu said you have got a once-off opportunity of making a loan. In fact, it's multiple times. As long as you have paid off the first loan, you can actually make another loan application, and if you pay it off, you could still be allowed to make another loan. But the loans should be payable by 2023 October.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Moa. Pastor Thomas, if you can just clarify your question, comment, so that we can ask it accordingly. And if I'm understanding, you said, so if I couldn't be able to register with 6.26, so if you go onto our YouTube channel, that link that Moa has placed on the chat, you will be able to access a recording on how to register yourself in detail. So you can follow that recording and register yourself, and you will receive your monthly stimulus of 6.26. Any other questions, comments? Please feel free to come off mute and ask your question or comment.
And just to say, Lerato, the 6.2 Lumi goes to individuals who have registered, but even the companies that have registered will still receive the 6.26 Lumi. And over and above that, they will get a 10,000 equivalent of 10,000 if that's what they want to apply for. But the 6.2 Lumi is for each and every account that has been registered.
Okay, so I am not seeing anybody else come off mute. More, if you can just please put your contact details in the chat. I see WA is asking, how can I be in contact with you after the meeting? You can just put those up in the chat. We'll highly appreciate that. I am not seeing anybody else come off mute or any other comments. Moa, would you like to make your parting remarks?
Thank you very much, Lerato. My parting remarks are, am I audible? Yeah. My parting remarks are just to remind us that we are having an important campaign that we are working towards, and that is the NetFem campaign that is happening, or rather the NetFem launch that is happening on the 9th of August. And please, our next meeting, Saturday the 7th, is going to be focusing on the readiness for us to launch the NetFem. It's going to be launched from Jamaica, but it's a global meeting. And importantly, our 5th Sunday Summit is happening on the 8th of August, and a special focus will be still on NetFem online workshop readiness. And the biggest news that we'll hear on that day is to hear from an entrepreneur who has invented an electrical automobile, and it has received 100% Lumi sponsorship in multi-billions. Let's come and just witness how Lumi is real. Thank you very much, and I want to encourage each one of us to please invite new people, especially new people, to join these meetings, because these meetings are meant to help empower those who have just joined Lumi, or those who are still fairly new, so that we lay the very correct foundation, so that we don't confuse Lumi with any other currency. Thank you very much, and I hand back to you, Rato.
Thank you so much, Moa. I see a comment from Timothy. I think it will be good if we are helping to register people with an ID card so that this harassment from government will stop. Jablani's comment, I like the explanation from the sister Tandy in the UK. So thank you everyone for all your comments and questions. If you need to get in touch, Moa has placed his contact details in the chat, and you feel free to put yours in there, and if you're not in any of the WhatsApp groups, you'll be added there. So thank you so much everyone for your time this evening. We really appreciate your time. As Moa indicated, on Thursday we do a comprehensive introduction into the Lumi digital currency. So if you still have any questions, comments after this, feel free to reach out. But over and above, if there's any persons or people you are introducing to the Lumi digital currency and you'd like them to get more information, please feel free to invite them to this platform. It is meant to enable all of us to be able to invite people and let them know what this initiative is about. So if there's anything over and above what is covered in this session that you'd like to hear about or know about, or think that people that you would invite to this session would like to hear, please feel free to reach out and let us know, and we can accommodate that and talk about it in the next session. So over and above that, thank you so much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining. We appreciate all of you and honor all of you for coming out this evening. And on that note, I will adjourn the session tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.